Let's talk about something that I think gets overcomplicated all the time. When is the right time to buy a home? And when should you just not? Because everybody's got an opinion on this. Your parents says buy now. Your coworker says wait. Your real estate agent, well, they're always gonna say buy. Let's be honest. So let's cut through all of that. So today I want to be upfront. This isn't me telling you to buy, and this isn't me telling you to wait either. It's just me walking you through what I would actually look at if I were trying to make this decision myself. Because I get this question constantly. Should I buy now or should I wait? And most people are waiting for some kind of signal, a headline, a rate change, something that tells them, okay, now is the moment. That signal does not really exist. So let's talk about what actually matters instead. Let's start with numbers, because at least these are facts we can work with. This is from the most recent TRAP report, May 2026. Sales were up year over year, 6,583 homes sold in May, compared to 6,195 the year before. That's about 6% increase. But in new listings, it dropped almost 19% over the same period of time. So fewer new homes are coming onto the market, while more buyers are actually closing deals. That combination has pulled active listings down about 13% compared to the last year. Now, here's the part that matters for this conversation. Even with that tightening, prices are still down. The average selling price was about $1,069,000, down 4.6% from last May. And the broader price index was down close to 7% year over year. So what does that actually mean? The huge surplus of listing that gave buyers a lot of leverage over the past couple of years, that cushion is shrinking. But prices have not caught up to that shift yet. By property type, detached home sales were up 9% year over year, while the prices were still down about 5%. Condos were similar. Sales ticked up slightly, but prices remained down over 6%. So condos are still the segment under most pressure. On the financing side, Bank of Canada rate sits at 2.3%, prime at 4.5%, and 5-year fixed mortgage were around 6%. So overall, the picture is genuinely mixed right now. Some leverage for buyers, but it's still narrowing. And honestly, that's exactly why the next part matters more than any of these stats. Is your situation ready to buy? Because here's the truth. The market numbers are basically the background noise compared to your own situation. Let's go through both sides quickly. You are probably in a good position to buy if your income is genuinely stable. Not probably fine, but consistent, secure, no probation period or short-term contract hanging over you. Probably you're in a good position to buy. And if you got a solid down payment, 20% or more, even if you were a first home buyer, this is the part people miss. If you have money left over after closing, like emergency funds, something like 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses, untouched, probably you are in a good position to buy. Because things break. It's never a question of if, just when it's going to break. If your monthly housing costs, mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance fees stay under roughly 35% of your take-home pay, probably you're in a good position to buy. Above that, and it stops being a home and starts being a source of stress. If you are planning to stay put for at least 5 to 7 years, the math works out. So the buying or selling expenses like the closing costs, the land transfer tax, commission, that only makes sense if you've got time on your side. And if your life settled enough, like your relationship, your career, the city that you're living in, that 5-year commitment actually makes sense right now. On the flip side, you might want to wait a bit if you are feeling pressured. You need to know that the fear of missing out is not a strategy. So if the main reason you are buying because everyone is saying, oh, you will regret waiting, that's worth examining. If you're buying would wipe out your savings, if your account hit near zero after closing, you are one bad month away from real trouble. And if your income is new or inconsistent, if you are recently self-employed or a new job, contract work, not a permanent, so just give it time to prove itself first before you buy. And if you are single with a lot of life still ahead of you and you are open to moving, relationships, that flexibility has real value. And tying yourself to a mortgage takes some of it away. You haven't thought about renewal. You know rates change. So if your budget only works at today's rate and it breaks at the higher one in a few years, that's a gap worth closing first. And if you are thinking short term, like buying now, hoping to flip in 2 or 3 years is speculation, well, this is not really a housing strategy, especially with how quickly conditions have been shifting lately. Here's what I think it trips most people up. They treat this as a purely financial decision, tracking rates, reading reports, waiting for the perfect conditions. And the data from earlier is actually a great example of why that's tricky. Few months ago, buyers had tons of leverage. With all that extra inventory now, sales are picking up and that surplus is shrinking, but prices have not caught up yet. So which moment was the right time? Honestly, you cannot know that in real time, only looking back. That's the trap. Condition shifts from report to report. And if your whole plan depends on catching the exact right moment, that game even professional analysts get it wrong constantly. The people who tend to do well in real estate usually are not the one who timed it perfectly. They are the ones who bought when their life was ready, when the numbers worked for them, and they hold on. That's really the whole thing. And buying before you are ready is just as much as of a mistake, no matter what the market is doing. Being house poor is genuinely rough. It takes the joy out of something that's supposed to make your life better. So the goal is not buying at the right time, it's buying at the right time for you. Market will keep shifting. That's just what they do. Your job is making sure that whenever you do move, you are actually ready for it. So here's how I would actually approach this. 3 questions only. The first question, can I afford this comfortably without stretching? Run the real numbers at today's rates, calculate the mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and see if you still have room left for your actual life. The second question, is my life stable enough to commit for 5+ years? Ask yourself, is your relationship, career, city, or genuinely planted? The third question, do I still have cushion after buying? 3 to 6 months of monthly expenses untouched, sitting in your bank. If you can honestly say yes to all 3, go find the right home. Don't let the market headlines rush you or hold you back. You are ready, regardless of what the numbers are doing this particular month. If even one of these is shaky, that's your answer too. Keep building that piece. And given how quickly condition can shift, as we saw earlier, chasing a perfect window is kind of a moving target anyway. So focus on what's not ready yet. When it is, you will be in a position to act, whatever the market is doing at that point. So look, there is a lot of noise out there. Headlines, social media, family opinions, agents who always think it's a great time to buy. Strip all that away and it really comes down to those 3 questions. Can you afford it comfortably? Is your life ready? Do you have a cushion? Answer those honestly, and you have basically got your answer, no matter what the market headlines are saying this week. If this was useful, share it with someone going through the same thing. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.